everyone. So it is Erin Chung, and I am here with Laura. Laura, why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are, where you from, where you serve, just in case anyone happens to have referrals for you.
Well, I am Laura Key. I'm known as the Realty Goddess of Los Angeles, California, and I help to establish the community one house at a time. I serve the Los Angeles area, and when I say the area, I mean the area, because I came from Denver, so I didn't have the concept of just certain areas. So I do serve Los Angeles. Been in the business since 2006.
Yay, nice, awesome. So you are in the program, and so I just wanted to know, I'm always curious, like, how did you find me? Do you remember what your customer journey looked like?
Yes, I actually found you from an ad, and you looked so personable and so different from what the other things that I had seen before. Because I'm not one of those who are always sell, 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 ha, 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 ha. I want to make a connection, and I felt like I could make a connection with you.
Awesome. Oh my God, that like warms my heart because that's how I want you guys to be able to generate leads, to actually build
Yeah,
relationships. So thank you so much for saying that. Like that's actually means it's working. So thank you.
it's working.
And then what was life like before the academy, like before the program, before all of that stuff? Like just, do you remember kind of what you were struggling with? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I have been doing this a long time, especially video. I was one of the first to embrace all of that. Instagram, anything that was social media, I embraced it quickly. However, I always felt like there was this puzzle piece missing. Like, I know how to do this. I'm doing great here. I'm doing great there, but nothing is converting. What am I missing? So coming through, and I'm still at the beginning of the course, and reevaluating my Facebook and my Instagram and planning with a purpose has changed my call to actions and the way that I'm actually doing things now. And I'm starting to see a little bit of a turnaround with people at least going, oh, you're in real estate. So what's the market like? Well, that's an open door.
Yeah.
But they feel like they can connect with me. But the part of this course is putting that major puzzle piece in the middle. And that's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah, it's funny because like I feel like a lot of agents they're posting without a plan, and I hear the most common thing is like I don't have time. I don't have time for social media. I don't have time for any of that stuff. I don't have time for online marketing. And I would actually agree with that if you're not posting with a plan, like you said, if you don't have like all of the puzzle pieces in order before you are doing it and you're actually working from a strategy, it
Mhm.
is like a huge time suck. And I feel like Facebook and Instagram and all of these platforms, YouTube, they're all designed to suck you in and to like never let you out. So
You
like,
go down the rabbit hole.
yeah,
You're like, how did I get here?
exactly. So yes, like you absolutely need a plan. Otherwise you will get sucked in. It'll be a whole day gone. And you're like, what did I just do for the last 3 hours? I'm watching
Right.
cat videos.
And then you're like, I didn't get anything done today.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. So that's actually, I'm glad that you said that because it is very important to be able to have like a big strategy when you're doing that. So that's
Yes.
huge. What
Yes.
about your lives? Like, so you do a lot of Facebook Live, is that right?
I do. I've embraced that more and more because I actually started from a Periscope background.
Oh, nice.
So I started with Periscope and just recently doing a whole lot more with Facebook Live and rebuilding that part. And I post pretty much at least 3 to 4 times a week, Facebook Live, and into the groups that I have created as well. So yeah, I'm picking up on that.
Good. What types of lives are you doing?
I give all sorts of different tips, and sometimes I'll do weird things. Like yesterday, I did one that was about 6 life hacks that you need to change immediately. Like, don't
Mm.
keep using that sponge. That's nasty.
Yeah.
You know, you tell them why. Or like the new condo situation that came on and informed them about that. Things that are going on in the community. They were filming down here the new Perry Mason show, so I shared some of that. So not just business. I live by the ocean, so I go to the ocean. I share life, and that's what I think connects people.
Do you find that that kind of keeps your engagement up, or talk
Oh
to me a little bit
yes.
about that?
Oh, yes, the engagement is always up. And I've also found that doing the stories on Instagram and Facebook, I get 125 people looking at those and commenting at those. So it's not just live, it's being able to click during your day, like showing a preview or doing my 360 or going, you know what, it's lunchtime, I'm going to the ocean. Y'all come with me. You know, it's just something about that connection. Like they feel like they're your girlfriend just sitting across the table having coffee with you. That's important.
Yes. A lot of agents I know are scared to do video. I mean, everybody's scared when they first start out. I look at my old videos and I cringe because they're so bad. But like now, I mean, after, hundreds and hundreds of videos later, I feel like it's so much easier. And like, we also implemented Instagram stories in the beginning of the year. And like, our engagement rate is through the roof on those stories,
Yes.
just like yours. So
Yes.
that's amazing. That's
I
so
love it. I love it. The other day I made it a point to do, this is the day in the realtor's life. And I showed the eviction I had to do. I showed the background. I showed me serving papers. I showed them in the good, the bad, the ugly. And then,
yes.
you turn that into, don't put your head in the sand. If this is you, you can be helped. So it lets them feel a little more comfortable and maybe not so embarrassed about some things they may have questions about.
Yeah, I think it's like, there are shows that are making millions and millions of dollars because they show the real estate process. And I know a lot of it is not real life, but it's like, right? Exactly, exactly. But they're making millions of dollars off of the life of an agent, just like you said. And it's like, so obviously they wouldn't be making that money if people didn't actually care about what you guys are doing. So
Exactly.
I think it's like, if you can, just like you're doing, if you can convert your mindset into thinking that like Instagram stories and your Facebook lives are actually more like your own personal reality show,
Yes.
that is like, we live in a very voyeuristic society and people are nosy. They care about stuff
I
like
know. I posted a recipe of me doing an Instapot yesterday because I had never done one, and everybody was like, "Ooh, what's that?" So
that. Yes.
I don't care if you're folding clothes. I don't care if you're cooking. People want to see.
They do. They do. So yeah, I think it's like a lot of people are just like posting graphics and that's a great start. Don't get me wrong. But like once you actually incorporate the videos, the lives, the stories, all of those things, you get a little bit more interactive.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that's a big, big deal. So I'm so glad that you're doing that. That's amazing.
I love it. I've always tried to encourage other agents to do it. And in my office, people are always like, she's the one who always does video. But they never want to incorporate it there. The tip is get over yourself.
Yes.
You got to get over yourself. You may think, oh, I've got this pimple. Ain't nobody looking at that.
Yes.
You got to say it. So,
Yes. And also it's like, the way that I always tell agents all the time, and I'm sure that you've heard me say this before, but it's like when you take yourself out of it and you focus on your community, you don't care anymore about the camera because you're focusing on helping others. When you're focusing on helping others, that's when all that stuff goes out the door, exactly like you said.
exactly.
So I agree with you. That's amazing. And then talk to me. I know you've been doing like some of the birthday prospecting. Is that right? Can you talk to me about that a little bit?
I actually get kind of excited about that in the course because that's something that I used to do all the time is always send out cards and do things like that. And I was like, I don't know why I didn't think about this before. So I put together a little video with balloons in the background and I send it the day before, like you suggested. It's short, it's like 30 seconds, 45 seconds top. I tell them happy birthday in advance. I sing the song to them and then they shoot it out. Well, I'm a vocalist. This is probably why I'm not scared of video.
Amazing. What?
So I will sing to them and I shoot it off. And it's funny because now I have seen people, my engagement go up that way with people who may not have seen me because they've been shadowed. They'll go through my pictures. It's crazy. Now the engagement has picked back up and you're no longer just a post.
Yeah, that's big. I know one of the things that we talk about in the program is like always training the algorithm. So it's like, I think a lot of people don't realize that, well, I mean, it's a computer, right? It can be trained.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a very smart computer, but yeah, once you start to train the algorithm of like what you want to see and what you don't want to see, it learns very quickly. So you're really smart for actually implementing that. I talk about it all the time. A lot of people don't do it. And because you are doing it, that's exactly why you are seeing a lot of posts from people from the past or you haven't seen from in years. Like you are training their algorithm. And so you're really, really smart to actually implement that.
Yeah, I've noticed it immediately off the top. As soon as I implemented it, I noticed that there was a huge difference immediately.
Good, good. Yay. Is there anything else that you can think of, or any results, or anything that you can possibly, that you maybe want to say before we close out here?
Yeah, just don't be afraid of video. I mean, I know we've said that here, but I can't stress it enough because it is not about you all the time. People just want to see what's going on, and you never know. The thing is, people can not say anything for a very long time, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, I've been watching you for years and I have a question. So just continue to do what you're doing regardless if you think it's working or not, because I'm telling you it's working. Don't be
Yes.
afraid, just get out there and do it. And if you
There.
sing off key, who cares, send it anyway.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. There's so many lurkers. I think that's the other thing. Like, I cannot stress this, and I'm so glad you brought this up. Like, I cannot stress this enough, is that people are always like, oh, like, no one's engaging, no one's commenting, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're not watching. They're just lurking in the background. And when you least expect it, like you said, they're going to come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, hey, by the way. So
Right.
yeah.
So just do it. Just do it. Even if you don't think you have only people in your community watching, you still also can get referrals. I mean, a lot of my people are still in Kentucky. A lot of my people are still in Denver. I'm in LA, but I still get them to say, hey, I don't know who to use here. Can you help me? That's a big deal. It's a big
Yeah. It really is. I was coming out of the bank the other day, and I mean, it was a situation where, like, I was just headed to the bank really quickly, no makeup on, yoga pants. Like, I mean, I was like, so I just, like, I went in there, went to the bank, and then I was coming out. This guy, like, does like a whole, like, 180 turn. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is wrong? Like, is like, I was like really self-conscious. And I'm like,
Oh my
why is
God,
he
it's a
looking
me,
at
it's
me?
a me.
Yes. And then he like walks, he like slow rolls it, and then he kind of like walks to the bank. And as I pass his car, I see like a real estate sign on the side of his car. So he flips around and he's like, I just have to say, like, I've been watching you. And I'm like, I don't have any idea who this guy is. Like, I have no
Right.
idea. But obviously, you know, all of the video and all that stuff that we're doing, and like, he'd never reached out to me before. I just happened to see
Right.
him and recognized me. So you are 100% right. So yeah,
Be
that's awesome.
seen, and then get out there in your community. You know, just go out and do something. Go out and volunteer. You've done all this work. Now be seen and become touchable, more
Yeah.
touchable in your community.
Yes. I love that. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh.
You.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And I look forward to always like seeing you in the Facebook group and interacting and everything. And like I said, I'm so proud of you. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show and for being a part of the community.
Thank you. And you are different and you are needed because people need to hear that there's a different way to be a really good agent. And this to me talks to my heart. And when it talks to my heart, I in turn can talk from my heart to other people as well.
Thank you. Gosh, I really like, you have no idea. Like, I really needed to hear that today. So I really appreciate you. And thank you for saying that, because that really spoke to me. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll see you soon. Thank you so much again.
Bye and thank you.
Bye.